And then make sure you head on over to primeshrimp.com because it is time for Tasty Tuesdays here on Good Things, which is brought to you by Prime Shrimp, which is your one-stop shop for pre-seasoned, easy-to-cook shrimp. And the best part, it is delivered straight to your door. But you can use code GoodThings for $20 off your first order. So that is primeshrimp.com, and you can get that to you today. And we just got news, Ryno, that they are excited about. Prime Shrimp is announcing a new flavor that they have launched at their website. They are introducing the Louisiana Shrimp Boil, a taste that's fresh out of the pot with an extra kick for those who like it spicy. That's how I like my shrimp, especially if I'm eating it at a shrimp boil. It's a little spicy. Its sharp aromatic blend captures the magic of an authentic seafood bowl without any of the work. Sign me up. Take your mind back to a fond memory of a shrimp boil in the bayou, but this time replicate the flavor in less than 10 minutes right there in your kitchen. That's something you get behind. So be sure to go to primeshrimp.com. Remember, always money-back guarantee, and orders of 4 pounds or more ship for free, which is only 4 different things. Plus, you can get your $20 off with using the code GoodThings. I have to say, I had a friend in Texas who took advantage of the Good Things promo because she's a fan, also a friend, right before the ice storm. And this is just what great customer service you will get at Prime Shrimp. And it should get to you within, I think, 48, 72 hours. It gets to you fairly quickly, and it comes on dry ice. Everything's nice and frozen, and it goes straight from your front door right into your freezer. Well, when the ice storm came a couple weeks back there, it got delayed in transit, which if you have anybody that works in logistics or moving things, that week ruined everything for a lot of people.
Shipping distribution center didn't have any power, so they couldn't distribute any of the shipping.
So sadly, she got her box of shrimp, and it had, by that time, it was, I think, 8 or 9 days later, had defrosted. She sent a simple email, and they responded quickly and promptly and apologized that they had other customers, obviously, that got screwed up in the ice storm. It happens. It's life. And not only did they send her a new order, but they sent her coupons and opportunities for purchasing further with some discount codes. So they took care of her quickly, didn't ask any questions, got it to her, and she and her husband now are hooked on the Alfredo shrimp, which they used to get through takeout often, and now they can do it right there in the ease and breeze of their
Easier,
home.
quicker, cheaper. What's not to like?
All the things above. And I will say for us with the shrimp Alfredo, if you have children who you're like, I don't know if my kids will eat that. Ours don't, so it makes it great. So we do a great pot of the shrimp Alfredo, but they love the Alfredo noodles. So the kids get their noodles that they would have eaten anyway without the meat because they're strange. I'm raising weirdos. And my husband and I get to split the actual shrimp that comes in there. So it's more shrimp for us. But our family still enjoys the entire meal. So we appreciate that. What else is easy and to do, and right here in Mississippi, is sweet potatoes. And I noticed today for Tasty Tuesday that it's National Cook a Sweet Potato Day, and I thought, that would be something to talk about. Number one, I feel like they picked a terrible month to talk about sweet potatoes. Most of us have sweet potatoes on, or maybe they did it, maybe it's genius, maybe it's a trick in the marketing. Normally, you're thinking about sweet potatoes in the fall. Usually, gearing up for Thanksgiving.
Pies, casseroles, and the like.
But they are delicious, nutritious, and available. They are the darling of Mississippi agriculture for sure, and you can get them all year long. And it's one of those things. We all like our sweet potatoes a little bit differently. So you can let us know how you like yours, 601-879-4395. Ryno, I saw on the Good Things Facebook group, you have a hack? A knack?
Once I figured it out, it was easy, but it took a little getting used to because it depends on how sharp you like to keep your kitchen knives. I like to keep mine very sharp, and to cut to the chase, the way I prefer potatoes, whether that be sweet taters or anything. If I'm making them and I got whole taters, I'm going to do them Hasselbeck style or Hasselback or whatever they call them. It's where you take the potato and you cut it almost all the way through. So you basically have a baked potato that's also kind of like chips, that's also kind of like fries, and you can get cheese and spices and all kind of goodness down in between, and it's just the best way to have a potato, in my opinion. Well, the trick to keep from cutting all the way through, especially if you got a really sharp knife, take chopsticks. Usually they come in pairs, so use both of them. Put them on either side of the tater and sit it on there kind of like a rail. It keeps it from rolling, but it also gives you just that little bit of width, that chopstick width, to keep you from chopping all the way through.
What a good hack. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool indeed. I don't go through that much trouble on a weeknight with my sweet potatoes. I appreciate that you do. But I like the fact that you can take a sweet potato and talk about inexpensive. I mean, you can find them at any grocery store for pennies on the pound, maybe $1 at the most. And you wash them off, you scrub them down. If you have an air fryer, I mean, you can do it in an oven. It's just going to take a little bit longer. You just cut them up, like just keep the skin on, don't, whatever makes you happy, doesn't matter. And then just a little bit of like the spray oil, salt and pepper, and you put them in your air fryer at like 390 for 15 minutes, and then check them, 15 minutes, and then sort of check them or whatever. And then, with sweet potatoes, they're not going to crisp up just the same as like a white potato would do. I mean, if you cook them long enough, anything will crisp up. But but you can still create a little bit of that texture difference. So it's not like not like French fries, but they're still not just soggy potato. I mean, they're not just cooked potatoes, right? Like they're a little bit different. And so the different texture and being able to pick them up with your hands are great for kids. Which Darren and Jackson says, I'm raising strange humans. I am raising strange humans. Look, it's one day at a time with them two girls. I'm just trying to get them to adulthood and do the best I can and keep them halfway awkward.
I almost said sweet potato fries because I like how simple those are, but I don't really like sweet potato fries with anything other than, like, is it honey bunny sauce is what they call it? It's the sweet sauce you dip sweet potato fries into. A lot of places have their own variation of, kind of like everybody has their own comeback. If you're known for having sweet potato fries, you probably have something sweet to dip them in. I don't like them with ketchup, but it seems like you either like your sweet potato fries with ketchup or something savory like ketchup or barbecue or something like that, or you like them with something sweet, and I just prefer sweet with my sweet potato.
I can appreciate that. We went for my husband's birthday for the first time and visited Gibbs in Learned, Mississippi, if you know that, Learned, Mississippi. And it was delicious, awesome. If you know the story back behind that, I think it was a general store back in the 1800s, and it's been kept in the same family, but now it's a steak, primarily a steakhouse. They have some other things on the menu as well. But when you come and you order your steak, you have like very few sides. And so I asked the waitress, what did she recommend? And she recommended the sweet potatoes, like sweet potato, baked potato, and then there was like a potato casserole. I mean, you weren't getting anything fried there. And actually, if you ask them why, because so much of the structure is original, they're terrified of frying anything because one accidental spark would, their whole place.
You didn't get that whatever you're frying completely thawed out and defrosted, then ice hits the grease pops up, hits the heating element, flame.
So I usually, when I go to places, like to ask the server or, when you've never been there before, what do you think's the best, right? I mean, when it comes, she said sweet potato. I said, cool. She was like, everything on it? I said, sure. And she said, and she kind of paused and looked at me. She said, even the syrup? Because it came with butter. It came with butter, a little bit of brown sugar, and then they offer maple syrup on top. And so I kind of looked at her because I hadn't thought that through, right? Normally it's just butter, a little bit of brown sugar, and that's all you would get.
I'd be all about that with some maple syrup.
So she looked at me and said, may I suggest it on the side? I said, you do that. And I don't know if they put that amount on it that comes on the side, because sometimes your side serving is a little bit larger because it comes in a little ramekin. But if they would have put all the maple syrup that was in the little on my sweet potato, I'd have left there with diabetes. It would have been delicious, but I would have left there with a chronic disease, a full belly. But it would have been a little bit. It would have been a little much. But it was real maple syrup, like it was sopping good in that respect.
I don't think I've ever considered putting maple syrup on a sweet potato. I've seen people use Golden Eagle syrup on a sweet potato, and that seemed a bit excessive, but maple just adds a whole different element to that. I might have to try that.
Baked, topped with a little real salted butter, pinch of garlic powder, and cayenne.
Ooh.
When we bake them, do an entire pan full. They freeze great for quick tater later, says JB. And all of these sweet potatoes would go great with the seasoned prime shrimp. All you'd have to do is boil them up and add them atop anything you are serving your sweet potato with. Don't forget to go to primeshrimp.com where you can use the promo code GoodThings. You'll get $20 off your order, and you will get fresh seafood shipped to your front door. There's nothing better than that. But sticking with us, we've got more good things for you coming up next.